Hello, everyone. It's great that today it's with great honor that we invited the president of EMBLEM Development, Kash Pashootan, over to our interview today, and together with Jenny Bowie, VP of Melbourne Real Estate. Before we get started, I know we're going to talk about the condo, the Artform condo, but Cash is a very special person. He's actually got the financial background as well. He's running his own financial companies and now turning into real estate. So, Cash, you want to talk about your business and how are you actually transitioning yourself? Not really transitioning, but how are you seeing yourself into developing a project like this?
Sure, yeah. So for us, as you mentioned, we come from the investment management space. So we've been managing assets for wealthy families for the last 20 years. And we've learned a lot in doing that. We've gained expertise in managing risk and uncovering opportunity. And a lot of that expertise and that process and those skills are transferable to real estate because at the end of the day, real estate is an investment as well, and it has risks and it has opportunities. So for us, as a firm, the idea of real estate makes a lot of sense because it's a way of diversifying away from being solely reliant on the stock market, right? And so anytime you can pursue growth and not have it be at the mercy of just one asset class, it's very important. So we have we pursue growth through strategies in equities, and we pursue growth in strategies in real estate, and that's really how EMBLEM has come together and been formed. Because we have the financial backing of a very well established investment management firm, that brings a lot of strength to EMBLEM in different ways. Number one, if you look at our team, we have some of the most experienced development professionals in all of Toronto that have worked at very well established developers before. We've been able to attract that caliber of talent to work full time within the EMBLEM family. In terms of our ability to do a project, again, the financial backing that we have has given us significant advantages that we otherwise would not have. EMBLEM today has 10 active developments at different stages, and we continue to be very aggressive in acquiring more land. And again, it's the financial backing that gives us the capability and the strength to do that. So we're very excited about the opportunity that exists in real estate in Toronto. We've obviously seen significant population growth over the last decade in Toronto, and as a result, we've seen significant appreciation in prices for homes. And we feel that that will continue over the next 2 decades. And now it's a function of finding which areas stand to benefit the most and making sure we're participating.
So from the sounds of it, do you actually think that are you suggesting to the investors that investing into real estate is probably a better choice compared to buying mutual funds and stocks?
Yeah, so it's less about better or worse, but certainly at certain points. So if you take a certain period in time, we will favor real estate over stocks, and at other times we will favor stocks over real estate. But we will always have exposure to all of these asset classes. It's just that at certain points in the cycle, we will be heavier in real estate, and at other points in the cycle, we'll be heavier in stocks. But that's really the model that's worked for many decades. But up until recently, it was not available to, let's say, millionaire families. It was only available to billionaire families, right? If you look at the wealthiest families in Toronto, they will never invest just in stocks, right? They will own stocks, they will own real estate, and you see that in terms of even some of the developers, right? Which families are behind those developments. And the reason is, it's no secret, real estate is a great long-term investment. And so similar to that, similar to the pension funds, right? When you look at the pension funds, they would not invest just in stocks, they will own stocks, bonds, and other types of assets, real
Fixed
estate.
income,
Yeah, real estate being part of that.
Right.
So for us, what we've done is really taken a model that's worked and is proven, and we incorporate it and offer it to our clients. And EMBLEM is obviously a very big part of that.
Okay, that's good to hear. Do you want to talk about the latest project, Artform?
Sure, yeah. So EMBLEM as an organization, we obsess with design, right? So our competitive advantage and how we create distinction relative to our competitors is believing that there is no substitute to great design. And we bring that obsession to every project we do, and Artform is the latest example of that. And so I'm looking forward to talking about some of the elements of the building that really create that distinction of what we've done here compared to what else we're seeing in the marketplace. So Artform is exciting for us for really two main reasons. One being the location and how opportunistic it is in terms of timing and what's going to happen in that area. And the second part is the building, right? What we've done with the building. Because as you can see when you look at the building, it does not look like your typical high-rise. And we've been very intentional about making it more of a boutique building, 17 stories. We both know that history shows us the boutique buildings as an investment tend to do better than the high-rise buildings that get lost in the mix and look like other buildings. And again, that obsession with design with this building. So maybe we'll talk about the design and the building, and we'll talk about the location. Which one did you want to do first?
I'll talk about the location because the location has always been the key of real estate. So
Yeah.
I know I used to live in Mississauga myself, and actually fairly close to this building, so I know the area quite well. So it is definitely an upcoming location, and I guess that's probably one of the key reasons why you guys pick a location like this, right? So
That's right. You know, from an investment perspective, timing is very important, as we know that. With development, you don't want to be too early to the area because then you're speculating. You're hoping that other developments will come and make that a community. And at the same time, you don't want to necessarily be there too late because if the community is too well established, you will not see the same return on your investment and the same appreciation as if you were there earlier. For us, we have a lot of confidence in Mississauga because when you look at Toronto and its population growth and its appreciation in housing, we see Mississauga as being earlier in that cycle, and so having more upside potential because it's earlier. But Cooksville specifically is even a little bit earlier with more upside potential than Mississauga. And so we were very excited, and that's why we have made the investment in the Cooksville area that we have. As you know, we have other sites in addition to Artform that we will be developing. And so where does Cooksville fall? Is it too early? Is it well established? Is it somewhere in the middle? We actually think it's the timing is very much as opportunistic as it can be, because as you may know, this falls right in the middle of the master plan community that's been laid out by the city. And history shows us that projects that are early in the master plan communities tend to do very well because every building that's added after that tends to be higher price and higher in price. So location, number one, it's right in the middle of the master plan community. Number two, it's at the heart of the transportation hub in all of Mississauga.
right, it's actually close to Port Credit as well.
That's right.
Also very close to the city center. So.
Right, so you have the Cooksville Mobility Hub that the city is investing over $100 million in within 500 meters of this building. So within a few minutes walking, you have LRT, BRT, right? You have the GO train.
That's right.
You can take the BRT to Kipling, and you have the subway. So you have access to all means of public transportation. The interesting part is from this site, you can get to downtown Toronto faster than some residences that are right in the city of Toronto because they don't have the same ease of accessing transportation. So it's very important location when you have when you're a part of a master plan community and you're that close to a major transit hub. Those two factors working together create a great deal of opportunity from an investment perspective.
That's right. Okay, thank you very much for speaking on the location, and we actually feel very excited on it. And now speaking on the building itself, just looking at the building, it's actually it's a boutique style, but it looks very sophisticated. So can you talk more about what kind of amenities do you have?
Sure.
What's the idea behind the design of the building?
So for us at EMBLEM, when we do a building, we don't cut corners. We don't say, okay, this is an up-and-coming neighborhood, we'll build a building that fits that at a lower cost for us. We put a lot of pride behind any product that we create. So if you look at Artform, not only does it look beautiful in the Mississauga, Cooksville area, you can take that building and put it anywhere in Toronto and it would hold its own. And that's quite an accomplishment, right? You could take this building, put it in Yorkville, and it would stand along all of the other beautiful buildings in Yorkville. So that's really the pride and the passion that goes into any EMBLEM building. In terms of the product, the building itself, what you'll notice right away from the exterior is it's beautiful. We're not sure why it's beautiful, but it is beautiful, and it's because we've achieved a timeless design. And that's very important from not only an aesthetic perspective, but also from an investment perspective, because it will withstand the test of time because of the materials that are used. There's no stucco, for example, being used on this building. Very common finish to use on condominiums. You won't find it on this building. You find finishes on this building that generally would be only reserved for much more expensive type of buildings. Brick, stone, glass. When you look at the windows, again, same idea. Large windows providing ample natural light into all units. And even something as simple as balconies. You know, every single buyer in the Artform building will enjoy a balcony in their unit.
That's great. It's actually a very important thing to have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that obsession with design and functionality extends into the building, into the amenity space, into the units. You know, if we talk about amenities for a moment, there's 17,500 square feet of amenities approximately in this building.
That's a lot of amenity space in the building.
It's a lot of amenities, and I think what many may not realize right away, and again, the more you look into an EMBLEM product, the more you'll see how much time and thought has gone into it. 17,500 is a lot in the way of amenity space. But remember, you're not sharing that amenity space with 30 stories, 35 stories, 40 stories of other residents. This is a 17-story building. So homeowners are going to be able to enjoy that amenity space much more because it's being divided and shared among much less residents. So the ratio of amenity space that we've provided here is very impressive. It's unique, and it will be a benefit to all buyers, whether it's an investment or you're planning on living in it.
Right.
And that amenity space, also how it's divided. You know, it's interesting, when you look at this site, we have a creek beside us, and we've worked with the Conservation Authority very closely, and we're going to be restoring part of that to make it feel very beautiful. And so when you're sitting in the outdoor terrace, imagine you have mature trees as the perimeter of your outdoor amenity space, lots of green, and you can hear the water flowing in the background because of the creek. It creates very much a backyard-like experience.
In the city center lifestyle.
In the city. Compared to, again, traditionally condominiums, the outdoor space feels very much like a concrete jungle, right? Mm-hmm. So it's another testament to the obsession with design that EMBLEM puts forth on every project we do. You know, if we talk a little bit about the units, again, you know, what makes this project very distinct, even on the units, the floor plans will be released next week, and you will see that every single floor plate has been very well thought out. There is not an inch of wasted square footage on any of the units. You know, considerations that many buyers don't realize until they get into the unit, we're thinking about beforehand, because we feel that that's how we build distinction in the marketplace and our reputation. For example, a buyer buys a 600 square foot unit, but 85 square feet of that is hallways, right? They haven't really bought a 600 square foot unit because they can't enjoy that hallway, right? I don't know about you, but I never relax in my hallway, right? So again, the intention and the thought has gone into the design to make sure that we are able to maximize every inch of that unit, whether you buy the smallest unit or the largest unit, to be able to enjoy and add to the overall quality of life for our buyer. The kitchens, the design firm that we've worked with here is U31. U31, as you know, has one of the best established reputations.
They are, yes.
And they've done a lot of the most notable downtown Toronto buildings. And we've engaged them for this project, and we've been very hands-on. And in collaborating with them on the design, you'll notice, again, to us, the greatest responsibility and the greatest accomplishment as a developer is for buyers to walk in the unit, walk in the building, and say, wow, it feels right. We all know that feeling of walking into a home or a condominium and saying, it feels right. You don't know why, but it just feels right. That, to us, is the greatest accomplishment for a developer. When you look at our kitchens, we don't use tile in the backsplash, right? So full slab backsplash.
That's very nice.
Right? That matches the countertop. So when you look at the kitchen, again, it feels right. You don't know why it feels right. Well, it's those types of considerations when you have a seamless slab meeting the countertop. Again, this is very uncommon and not available in the marketplace. So when you're looking at other projects, you'll see that the more you dig into the Artform building, the more there's distinction and separation from everything from the amenity space, how it's been thought out, how it's been laid out, the exterior of the building, all the way carried forward in the units. You walk into a bathroom at the Artform building, and again, you're going to have that feeling of, it's beautiful. You don't know why, but one of the main reasons is we use frameless glass for the showers. Again, costs us more, but creates distinction for the buyer and adds to that enjoyability factor. And so you can see that type of thinking is present at every part of the project.
Are you providing all frameless glass, kitchen backsplash, one-piece slab? Are these all standard features?
Standard features.
Wow, because usually they're considered upgrades for most of the other developers.
If you can even do it.
Yes,
right?
That's correct.
So our smallest and most attractive priced unit to our largest, highest priced unit and everything in between will have that as a standard.
Okay, that's good. Thank you very much for all the detailed explanation on the condo. And then I guess one last question is, where do you see the market is going in the next 6 months and 1 year? Do you see that the overall market's going up, going down, going sideways?
Yeah, look, I think that the pandemic has been an uncertain time for everybody in every industry, and there's no hiding that. What Toronto's housing market has shown, especially the condominium market, is that this is a global force that is going to continue on the path that we've seen. We've seen the condo launches in the last 3 months sell at a similar velocity that they did pre-COVID. Right? Prices have not come down on new construction, on pre-construction condos. So for us, we're coming to market at a very attractive price point, combined with no compromise in finishes. In fact, we're setting the bar in the standard that we're coming to market with their finishes with a price point that's very attractive. And the reason why we're doing that is because we believe in the market, right? We believe in the market. And so when you look at Toronto with immigration growth, population growth, it's a great place for people to be, and we're attracting lots and lots of continued immigration. Canada has its doors open for new families to come, and so we see over the next 5 to 10 years, because anything longer is really hard to predict, but over the medium and long term, we see continued price appreciation. And what's interesting about Mississauga, and this is so important, is the price that a condo sells for in Mississauga and Cooksville on a condo compared to downtown Toronto is at a significant discount, right, for the same size condo.
It is.
And we all know that. But what many don't talk about is the rents don't change that much, right? So buyers are able to, for whatever money they're spending, buy a unit for a considerably less price than they would downtown Toronto, but the rent that they get on that unit is not the same discount as the price of the unit. And what that tells us is that the Mississauga market and the Cooksville market have some catching up to do with the Toronto prices.
It does, and also I think most recently, I think the rental market downtown is a little loose. They don't, vacancy rate used to be like 1% and now it's a little higher, but Mississauga is actually sustaining. On the Census Canada, I think there's a prediction by year 2040, which is I guess 20 years from now, the population of Mississauga is going to double. So
yeah,
there's going to be a lot of people coming into the city of Mississauga. So,
and this project is right in the heart of it being a master planned community.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you're able to, you look at this project, you're buying it at a discount to what you would pay in the Square One area, but arguably the location is just as superior because of the access to transit, how close you are to Square One, but when you want to relax and you want to rejuvenate, you're not in the heart of it, right? And we've seen that trend in Toronto, right? You look at downtown Toronto and you look at areas like King West or Yorkville trade at a higher price than right downtown.
That's right, yes.
Because those areas have been able to really establish a sense of community. And that's what we see happening in Cooksville, and that's why we're very excited about this area.
Okay.
I wanted to add to Cash's point. TREB came out the report in July 7. Year over year condos in the 905 area, it's up 9% from June 1st to June 30th.
Higher.
And yeah, it's up 9%, over 9%. And then also Q2 in 2020 versus Q2 in 2019, it's about 5%, over 5% as well.
Right, wow.
So
that's significant growth.
Yeah.
And the trend's going to continue in Mississauga. So.
That's right.
And then actually I wanted to add the unit mix that you probably wanted to know. So
Right.
we start at 1 bedroom plus den up to 400.
Mm-hmm.
We design and the way how we designed the layout is to cater to the buyers because we know and understand what the buyer needs and wants. So majority of our unit will be the 1 bedroom plus den where 2 bathroom, where the den can be used as a second bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have 2 bedroom, 2 bath, and then we have 2 bedroom plus den, 2 bath. All of our dens are really very large in size.
So you can use it as a bedroom, perfect for investors or end users.
Yeah.
That's right. And then we also have the deposit structure because we wanted to make it more flexible for an end user to even an investor to purchase now because, like Kash said, it's part of the master plan community. There is room for growth. So we're looking at 5% per year, so 5% in 2020, 5% in 21.
That's really good.
And 5% in 22, another 5% on occupancy.
Sometimes deposit structure means more than the end price or
Yeah.
the purchase price.
That's
No,
right.
it's true. Because buyers know over time they're going to get the appreciation, but if the deposit structure restricts them from being able to buy, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tentatively occupancy in 2024 in the spring.
2024, okay.
Yeah, that 1 bedroom plus, so we have no bachelors, no studios, no 1 bedrooms. You're coming in at that price point, not only is it an attractive price point, but you're getting a 1 bedroom plus den, which we know is the most flexible floor plan. Because if you're 25 and you're a young professional starting your career, that den could be used as an office when you work from home. If you're about to have a young family, you're expecting your first child or have had your first child, that den can be used as a nursery or a
Mm-hmm.
junior bedroom. Or if your kids have grown up and they've moved out, you can downsize from your large Mississauga home, and that extra that den can be a guest bedroom when the kids come back and visit, whatever it may be. So it gives you lots of flexibility. And again, when you're looking at it from an investment perspective, that's very important because it appeals to a much broader range of a market. And again, all of that with significant distinction with this building. Boutique, you can see the quality on the exterior, the interior. I think many underestimate how well buyers can tell the difference between a project that was rushed and a project where the developer really took their time and they're passionate about every detail. I think buyers can really do that. We've seen that with the overwhelming interest we've had in Artform, and we're really proud of that because it shows that the time we put into thinking about the details is appreciated and valued by the buyers. And in return, we believe they will be rewarded in their investment, given the distinction of product.
And then to add to Cash's point, we have not compromised in our finishes, but we're keeping the price, majority of unit over 80% to be at $600,000 or under, to make
Wow.
it very affordable for any buyer to purchase.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a good buy to me.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I think we've talked about the project. Today we get to understand the Artform condo. And thank you very much for the president of EMBLEM, Kash, to come over in person to talk about the project. And thank you very much, Jenny,
Thank you.
as always. I guess thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.